So this is part 5 of my CAGED tutorial, Triads. I don't know how many parts this is going to be, you know, it can go on forever, this stuff. Hopefully by now a few things should be clicking and you can sort of work out things for yourself along the way. So last week we went into a bit of theory behind the names of some of these triads, and we stuck to the D, G and B strings, and we covered that which inversions we've got and what the names are and the order of notes. Today I'm just going to concentrate on shapes again, but we're going to now look at the G, B and high E strings. So it's the top 3 strings. So the first inversion we're going to look at, and you can think of, if you think of your C chord again, your whole C chord, and you take off your middle and ring finger, you're left with just your first finger on the B string on the first fret, and this, that's the C major triad. The one that we did last time, the D, G and B strings, started on the 3rd, was our first inversion. Now we're removing that, but we're adding in this high E, so we've got G, B and E, so this one becomes the second inversion. So that is 5th, root, 3rd. So it's the bottom, what's the top of this C chord. The next inversion, because this is the second inversion, starts on the 5th, the next one starts on the root, remember the order, and it's this shape. So we've got first finger, 3rd fret of the high E, that's our 5th. And then we're going to put pinky, or you can do ring finger for this one, it doesn't really matter. I use my pinky on the 5th fret of the B string, that's my major 3rd, and then straight next to it we've got the 5th fret on the G, and that's our root, and that is our root inversion. So that forms part of this chord. Remember, when we do this A form bar chord, we mute that in order to play this comfortable shape. Theoretically it should be your A chord and then played like this with your 5th being played on the high E, but nobody does that. We do this, the 5th is muted but it's there. You've got to learn it with your triad. So that's root, 3rd, 5th. The next one along, this was our root inversion, is our first inversion, which comes out of this chord. So if we look at this E form bar chord and you study just the bottom part here, your first finger is covering up these 2 strings. Remember, we're going on the G, B and high E strings. And then your middle finger has got the major 3rd, which is the G string on the 9th fret. So you've got G string 9th fret, middle finger, and first finger's barring the 8th fret, B and high E. And then we can go back to this inversion. Remember, we're going to repeat. So this is the second inversion, starting on the 5th. And if we just do our D shape chord off the 12th fret, so our D shape. So we've got first finger 12th fret G string, ring finger 13th fret of the B, and then middle finger high E on the 12th fret, and that's our D shape. So that's our second inversion, 5th, root, 3rd. And if you want from there, you can just add in the 4 and the 5 chord, which I'm not going to go over too much. I'm going to let you work it out. Sometimes you got to, you know, challenge yourself. Take what you did from learning the 1, 4, 5 on these strings and just apply it now to the top 3 strings. Just remember to see your chord shapes. So if I was to do a C, my F would be here, from here. Whole step to G. Back to C. F then would become the D shape. G a whole step up. Back to C. Then F. So learn the shapes for the new string set just for C. And then them shapes you just need to apply to the 4 and the 5 chord. No new shapes. You can start seeing these triads now on the string sets form the full chords, and I think this is a really good way to learn all the shapes up and down the neck by breaking it down into these triads up and down on string sets. It makes it easier to visualize these big chord shapes. For example, if we just take this C chord and we're going to break it down into string sets. So the top 3 strings, what we've just done. Then we've got the next string set, which is D, G, B, which was these that we've done previously. If we come to the next string set, which is A, D and G, then we lose this first finger and we just have this root inversion. And then we can come further up and we go the E, A and D, and then we have the second inversion. So that's what we need to be doing up all the string sets. For example, if I go to this one, you can come up through the whole chord shapes. So practice. Forwards and backwards. Next string set. You can come up one string set, down the next. Come up with your own ideas for practicing it, but as long as you get your fingers on these shapes and start moving them around just to get the shapes, apply a 1-4-5 if you want on this new string set. If you're finding it too difficult, let me know in the comments and I'll do another video just on that, and then we can do the same exercises up and down all the string sets, and then we'll start mixing them up and doing a 1-4-5 plus other chords progressions with all these different triad shapes, and then we can reduce it down even further into single note melodies, joining these chords, you know, all together all over the place. So let me know what you think of this lesson. If you want any more detail, give me a shout and I'll make another one. Cheers.